The PGA Tour has been hit by a flurry of resignations, including that of former world number 1 Dustin Johnson, as the battle lines are drawn in the fight for golfing supremacy. World champions France are in danger of seeing their UEFA Nations League title defense end early. And do you fancy owning a piece of sporting memorabilia that is linked to LeBron James? It could be yours if you have $6 million. Start with golf. The breakaway LIV Golf Series has received a major shot in the arm 2 days before the staging of the first event outside of London. Six-time major winner Phil Mickelson has joined Greg Norman's bandwagon after ending a 4-month self-imposed exile. Former Masters Champion Dustin Johnson as well as Sergio Garcia have resigned as PGA Tour members. Mickelson has not been seen in public since the publication of comments made to a journalist who was writing his biography. Mickelson didn't hold back his punches, saying he was willing to engage with the Saudi Arabia-backed LIV Golf Series despite the kingdom's poor human rights record in order to force the PGA Tour to change. Those toxic comments produced a massive backlash, and so sponsors abandoned the Hall of Famer. Mickelson took time off and missed the Masters for the first time in 28 years, and he then did not turn up to defend his title at the PGA Championships. Lefty, as he is fondly called, is now ready to step back into the spotlight. In a statement, Mickelson said, and I quote, "I am ready to come back to play the game I love, but after 32 years, this new path is a fresh start. One that is exciting for me at this stage of my career and is clearly transformative, not just for myself, but ideally for the game and my peers. I am thrilled to begin with LIV Golf and I appreciate everyone involved. I also intend to play the majors. I am incredibly grateful for what this game and the PGA Tour has given me. I would like to think that I have given back as well. But now I am excited about this new opportunity." Mickelson's arrival is a huge coup for former world number 1 Greg Norman, who is fronting the breakaway league. Mickelson remains box office dynamite despite his recent off-field issues. Mickelson became the oldest man to win a major when he triumphed on Kiowa Island last year to claim a second US PGA title. Mickelson is a 3-time winner of the green jacket as well, with the US Open the only trophy missing from his cabinet despite 6 runner-up finishes or joint second finishes. He's also been Tiger Woods' greatest rival over the last 2.5 decades, and he was inducted into golf's Hall of Fame in 2012. Norman himself has confirmed that Woods was offered close to $1 billion to join the breakaway, but the 15-time major winner refused. Unconfirmed reports in the golfing world suggest an appearance fee of over $150 million played its part in convincing Mickelson to end his exile. He will now join the likes of Dustin Johnson, Sergio Garcia, Martin Kamer, Graham McDowell, Lee Westwood and Ian Poulter as the marquee names in the series. Norman welcomed Mickelson's arrival by saying, and I quote, "Phil Mickelson is unequivocally one of the greatest golfers of this generation. His contributions to the sport and connection to fans around the globe cannot be overstated, and we are grateful to have him. He strengthens an exciting field for London, where we are proud to launch a new era for golf." For more on this battle for golf supremacy, I am joined by Martin Dempster from Edinburgh. Martin is the chief golf writer for the Scotsman. He's also chairman of the Association of Golf Writers. Martin, lovely to have you join us. Let's get to that big announcement first. LIV Golf is definitely not dead in the water, as Rory McIlroy once predicted. Phil Mickelson is box office dynamite, and his return should give the inaugural event a massive boost.
Yeah, box office dynamite. I like that one, Diggy. That's he certainly is. Yeah, I think a lot of us expected this. To be honest, it's late in the day. The event starts on Thursday. at the Centurion Club, which is about an hour north of London. It was a late call, but behind the scenes, I think Greg Norman and his team have been talking to Phil. Obviously, Phil's not played since he made some controversial comments about the Saudis and about the PGA Tour. He took a break away for the game. He didn't defend the PGA Championship title at Southern Hills last month. And we've just been waiting for Phil to make an announcement. Last night he did announce that he had signed up for LIV Golf. And I'm seeing something this morning that he's reportedly being paid $200 million to play in these LIV Golf events, which is pretty serious money even for a guy like Phil Mickelson.
Yes, huge money, $200 million. But, you know, we were at the Hero World Challenge in the Bahamas in December, and we both were there when we were speaking to Rory McIlroy, where he said that players are ultimately individual contractors, Martin. Then why are they sort of being painted as greedy?
Yeah, I mean, lots of golfers, including Rory, they do speak about being independent contractors, and they are to a certain extent. I mean, this LIV Golf concept, I think it's exciting in one sense. I mean, it's a 54-hole event. It's a shotgun start. There's going to be a team element, so there's a bit of fascination about how that's going to work out. I think the problem for a lot of people is that the money's coming from Saudi. People obviously have issues with Saudi and what goes on in that country at times. And of course, they're at loggerheads with the PGA Tour and the DP World Tour, formerly the European Tour, the sort of traditional circuits. So they had blocked the DP World Tour. They've not granted releases to the players to play in this week's event at the Centurion Club. So we've got to wait and see what sanctions will be taken against them. And it's the same with the PGA Tour. So yeah, it's an interesting time for golf. I think it's also a worrying time for golf because if this ends up in the courts and legal battles, no one really wants that. No sport wants that. But as things stand, you can't really see it going any other way. So the worry about this first event, I mean, obviously the current top players, Rory, Colin Morikawa, Justin Thomas, John Rahm, they've said they're not interested in LIV Golf. They're happy where they are on the PGA Tour. As Dustin Johnson, of course, said a couple of months ago. However, he did a U-turn last week. He signed up for LIV Golf, reportedly being paid $125 million. So there's an awful lot of money being thrown about. And in some respects, you can understand why players are signing up for this, because certainly ones later in their careers, it's a chance to win a lot of money. But at the same time, there's conflict, and only time will tell where that conflict is going to end up.
Okay, so 200 million is the offer. What's going around for Mickelson? $125 million for Dustin Johnson. Now, there's always a moral argument and also a coldly professional one. The PGA Tour clearly says that it is opposed to the Saudi League. They don't call it the LIV Golf Series. Should players be concerned, Martin, about where the money is coming from? This is, after all, a professional sport where you do not make any money when you miss the cut.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it all comes down to the individual. Individuals make decisions if they're comfortable with a decision in terms of the Saudi thing's big here. It's obviously been described as sports washing by a lot of people. And Phil's comments, which he now obviously says he regrets, about Saudis and some of the stuff that had gone on there. I mean, they were certainly controversial. So, yeah, it's. I think it's one that we're all watching very, very closely, because players have had releases in the past to come and play in the Asian Tour. and all of a sudden they're saying, well, wait a minute, no, why can't we get a release now? I mean, Lee Westwood speaking at the British Masters about a month ago now, he's also playing this week, and he said that he's been a great supporter of the DP World Tour, and there's no doubt that's the case, and he feels that there's no reason why he shouldn't get permission to play in these events. But the PGA Tour and DP World Tour, they're trying to look after their interests.
I read comments from Greg Norman this morning, Martin. Tiger Woods was offered close to $1 billion to switch sides. That's a lot of money, even if you're Tiger Woods. I think it's sort of pretty clear now that this league isn't going away anywhere.
Listen, if they'd got Tiger, even Tiger's physical condition at the moment, that would have been huge. But Tiger's a very loyal PGA Tour man, so it wouldn't matter how much they offered him, he's not going. So, but the majority of the players that are taking part are in their 40s, some of them in their late 40s. Good players, some big names, others, Ian Poulter, Sergio Garcia, Martin Keimer, Louis Oosthuizen, lots of good players there. And as I say, I think because this is the first one, there's a massive interest, massive focus on it. But no, there's 8 of these events to come. And no, as things stand, the 8 events, if they're similar fields, I'm not sure they're going to have a huge attraction come the 4th, 5th, 6th one.
Martin, as someone who closely tracks the sport of golf, what do the tours have apart from threatening sanctions? Because Kevin Na, Dustin Johnson, Sergio Garcia, Louis Oosthuizen, they've already said thank you very much to the PGA Tour.
The one thing that could change the whole scenario here is if players who have signed up for LIV Golf, and I don't know if this can happen, if those players were prevented from playing in the 2 majors to come this season. The US Open takes place at Brookline in Boston next week. That's run by the USGA. Can the USGA block them from playing in that? Can the RNA block players who have signed up for LIV Golf playing in the Open? They would be game changers. These top players don't want to miss out on majors. They might be prepared to miss out on some regular PGA Tour and DP World Tour events, but throw majors into the equation, that focuses the minds in a different way. And that's the one thing that no one knows. If the USGA are prepared to take action on behalf of the PGA Tour or the DP World Tour, can they? I don't know. I mean, again, you've got to think that might end up in courts. So, it's an unknown, Diggy, that one.
Yes, everyone seems to suggest this is going to go to court, but clearly LIV Golf is here to stay at least for the next couple of years. Will it end up reshaping golf as we know it is up in the air? Martin, thanks a lot for joining us with your perspective. I'm sure it's going to be a very busy few days for you at least.
Thank you, Diggy.